India Inc. has a 7,500 crore rupees socio-economic opportunity that is yet to be tapped. A recently released report by the India Welfare Trust covered 100 large companies across different sectors in India. It has shed light on volunteering trends with about 15 million white-collar employees in India. Potential of 150 million plus hours can be volunteered annually by corporate India towards social and economic development. This could potentially create a five-fold social return on investment for companies. Let me now go across to Bhargav Dasgupta, MD and CEO at ICICI Lombard General Insurance, Shalabh Sahai, co-founder and director at iVolunteer. With us also is Kartikye Aggarwal, the author of the report and growth strategist at India Welfare Trust. Subodh, Bhargav, if I can begin with you, give us a sense of Bhargav Dasgupta, if I can begin with you, give us a sense of the kind of volunteering opportunities you're offering at ICICI Lombard currently, and how is it important for the well-being of your employees and the career of your employees as well?
Thanks, Parikshit. Yeah, this is indeed a very interesting report that we just got to see recently. So at ICICI Lombard, our volunteering initiative is called Caring Hands. Now, this is something that has been going on for about 11 years now. Back in 2011, we felt that there was a gap in terms of the healthcare service that we could provide to underprivileged schools, children of underprivileged schools. And the approach that we thought was would be do 100% employee volunteering. It's easy to just sign a check and hand over to an NGO, but we just felt that this could be an initiative where we involve our people and through that process build certain character traits, in a sense, leadership traits within our people. So that was the thought process. Initially, honestly, we were not sure whether it'll get a buy-in, but the experience that we had in the very first year was very positive. So what we did was we selected a few schools, usually BMC schools, schools for slightly underprivileged children, and we ensured that we did health camps in these schools. And over the years, the entire initiative morphed to specializing in eye care, because that's something that we saw was a massive gap. Our data and our experience shows that between 15 to 20% of the children that we do a health checkup or eye checkup camp need some kind of intervention, maybe in terms of specs, maybe in terms of corrective surgery. So this is the whole effort that we do. And over the years, over the last 11 years, we've covered about 400,000 children. Every year, roughly 25 to almost 40% of our staff on one single day come together and run this volunteering camps. Initially, it was largely centrally organized. Now, centrally, we just set up the framework. Some collaterals are centrally prepared, but the activity is completely owned and executed by field teams on the ground. So in each branch, 8 to 10 people come together, form a squad, which goes to a school, convinces the school that this is a good idea. And over the years, we've built the reputation and the trust with these schools.
Bhargav Dasgupta,
we have networks.
I'm going to come back to you. Right, I'm going to come back to you. I'll take quick questions with our other panelists. Kartikye Aggarwal is also joining us. Kartikye, now when it comes to extent of volunteering activities, how many companies are making disclosures about this? And to what extent have they been adopted by some of the top companies in India?
Yeah, thanks, Parikshit. So, we have seen a lot of development in volunteering in companies in India over the last several years. What we have found, which is very encouraging, which was that 78% of the companies that we looked at did disclose some form of volunteering, or either in form of programs or activities that they are offering to their employees. But the disclosure in terms of number of volunteers per year or the number of volunteering hours being done per year, I think there is room for growth there. So we found that 26% of the companies are reporting annual volunteers, and 39% are reporting annual volunteering hours. So definitely, when you look at the number of companies that are currently supporting volunteering, there's definitely opportunity there for more companies to disclose volunteering information.
Right. Shalabh, when it comes to the kind of volunteering activities that corporates can offer, what is a good way to start? What are some of the sectors which are popular with Indian companies?
Well, I would begin by saying that the most popular sector tend to be working with children on education, followed by environment, and then health and elderly, because these are the sectors that espouse the maximum amount of empathy to begin with. But all causes are equally important, and I believe that when volunteers start volunteering, they adhere to whatever cause that they begin with. To begin volunteering, we always say that it's important to first understand a particular cause. So, for example, it's important to not just begin by saying that I know best and I will kind of go there and give a counsel on what kind of volunteering is to be done. What really works well is to kind of embed the employees into a cause, get them to go and understand what a nonprofit does, how a community faces a particular challenge, and then in doing so, develop an empathy which leads to longer term commitment. We find that when volunteering is a quick fix, the commitment goes missing. So it takes a lot of investment very early on, in the very early stages, into ensuring that employees understand the cause, develop a connect with the people that they're going to volunteer with, understand the challenges that nonprofits face, and then kind of decide what kind of volunteering path they will take. So that's a quick way to start.
All right. My final question to Bhargav Dasgupta. Bhargav Dasgupta, give us a sense of how ICICI Lombard would like to expand its volunteering activities in future. How many more employees would you like to cover as part of your program?
Parikshit,
very briefly, we just have about 30 seconds.
Yeah, the entire approach that we have is completely voluntary. We don't force people to volunteer. It's left to individual teams to volunteer. And as I said, generally we find on that particular day, roughly about 30-35% of our staff come together and volunteer. We are open as an organization, but we don't want to set some targets for people to decide to volunteer.
Right. Bhargav Dasgupta, thank you so much for joining us, talking about the importance of volunteering, Kartikye and Shalabh as well. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Newscentre. More news and updates continue right here.